Okay, you're live.
Thank you very much, and welcome to the December 9, 2020 Veterans Advisory Commission meeting. I am Staff Liaison Kelly Corsett. We do have a quorum, and so I will turn it over to Commission Chair Pete Palmer. Chair Palmer, you may be on mute, and I've shared the slide that has the first part of our agenda. Chair Palmer, are you there? It looks like you've unmuted, but I'm not hearing you. Vice Chair Polk, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Chair Palmer, I'm not able to hear you. It looks like you're unmuted. But as they say, no plan survives first contact with the enemy. So now that we're live, perhaps you might be having an audio problem. Okay, looks like Chair Palmer has hopped out, and I expect that he will be back in a moment. So let's just give him a minute to do that.
As an aside, I hope it's all user error because I own some Zoom stock.
Well, unfortunately, I know he was having difficulty and was coming in via his tablet, but I don't see him back in yet. I would suggest we give him one more minute, and then Vice Chair Polk, we might have to hand the reins over to you.
Okay.
Well, it's possible he's having some sort of internet problem. At home.
Kelly, it's Vice Chair Polk. I have a question then. If he's unable to join us, do we still have the appropriate number of people attending?
Vice Chair Polk and members of the commission, yes, there is a quorum. Actually, we have, even if Chair Palmer's unable to rejoin the meeting, if his technology does not cooperate, we have 5 out of the 6 current members of the commission. So yes, we would have the number necessary to move forward.
Okay, thank you.
Well, Vice Chair Polk, that's 5 minutes after the hour. I don't see him attempting to get in at this point. So I would suggest that we go ahead and move ahead with the agenda. And if you would like, I can call the roll.
Yes, please. And I would appreciate your guidance as always. Thank you.
Vice Chair Polk.
Present.
Commissioner Monroe.
Present.
Commissioner Regal,
Present.
Commissioner Stemple, Commissioner Stemple, I see you here. You appear to be muted. Okay, Commissioner Zymek.
Present.
Thank you. Vice Chair Polk, the roll will reflect that Commissioner Stemple is present in the meeting and appears to be having perhaps a bit of a problem unmuting his, no, I guess he's still muted. So we do have a quorum and can proceed if you would like.
Thank you and understood.
So Vice Chair Polk, members of the commission, it looks like Chair Palmer is back with us. Hopefully technical gremlins have been set aside for now. Chair Palmer, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. I couldn't unmute for some reason. It wasn't showing until somebody pushed a button. So I had to go out and go back in.
Glad you're back. Thank you.
Thanks, Denise. So we finished the roll call. So next on the agenda is discussion, possible action to approve 4 November 2020 Veterans Advisory Commission meetings. Are there any comments or corrections on the minutes? If not, I'll entertain a motion from the commission.
So moved. From Zymek.
Second from
Steve.
Polk.
Thanks, Denise. Any opposed? Okay, the motion passes. We only have one other thing on the agenda, which is a discussion of possible actions to approve the 2020 Veterans Advisory Commission Annual Report. I think you all got it in advance. Hopefully you were able to contribute to it, and so I'll open it up for discussion.
And
Has everybody seen this? Let me try it a different way. Is there anybody that hasn't seen this? Okay.
Chair Palmer, I don't see any hands up. Correction, Commissioner Zymek's hand is up.
Yeah, I think it has done, it is a great recap of all of the things we've discussed. And one thing I would add, and I don't think it is a very challenging or the city would have an issue with it, is that we encourage all end users, if you will, and certainly all of us with T-Bird and the Legion and everybody else, to put a link to the city's veterans page website on each one of our own personal business or nonprofit websites. So that we have a link, as an example, on the Thunderbird website, we'll have a link directly to the Scottsdale az.gov/veterans website. And that'll certainly get us more exposure with the population as they visit all of our different websites.
Yeah, and I think that's right in line with one of the goals of let's call it marketing veterans programs and efforts. I forgot which number it is. I don't have the paper right in front of me, but I think that falls right in on there. Did you want to add that as one of the recommendations for our the first couple pages gives us a summary. Did you want to add that in the comments of what we're working towards?
I think it makes sense because it specifically spells it out and doesn't leave it to anyone's imagination or thoughts. Okay. It won't hurt.
No. Any objections do we need to vote on this, Kelly?
Chair Palmer, members of the commission, I don't believe that requires a vote. If that's something you would like to, hearing if anybody objects, I would suggest that they raise a hand. Otherwise, it could certainly be added to the annual report under the upcoming opportunities, challenges, or outcomes. We could add a bullet that reflects that staff will reach out to various veterans organizations and request a link back from their websites.
And I would assume we'd want this on our work plan for next year too, because it's not going to end with just a few. Is that, Steve, was that the intent?
Yes. Yeah, the more the merrier.
Yeah.
Because I think ultimately, as we all know, there are hundreds of different veterans organizations out there in the Valley. And by getting everybody to look at Scottsdale's, maybe it'll narrow it down and serve as one place where everybody can go for information.
Agree. Any objections from anybody on the commission?
Chair Palmer, I don't see any hands raised. And so I have made a note of both adding that to the work plan and also to as an upcoming effort as part of the commission's annual report. I'll also note for Commissioner Stemple, who's on the phone, you can press *6 on your phone to unmute yourself if you'd like to try that. Okay. Chair Palmer, I don't have any other hands up, and I have made a note of that request.
Okay, and since everybody's read these and I assume you've all seen all the attachments that we've added with comments from our work plan. Do we need to go through all the slides, or do we just move to a vote for approval?
Chair Palmer, members of the commission, I think that would be certainly your prerogative as the chair to call for a motion if unless anybody had any other points of discussion on the plan. And I don't see any hands up.
Okay, so I'll.
So moved.
Okay, thank you.
Seconded.
So
Okay.
Moved by Commissioner Regal, seconded by Commissioner Zymek.
Okay.
Yep.
Any opposed?
All in favor first.
Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
I,
Yeah, I don't know if we do that, raise hand, say aye, but any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Okay, the next thing on the agenda is any reports, updates, and suggestions for future agenda items and suggestions.
Commissioner Palmer, this is your staff liaison, Kelly Corset. I don't see any hands up. However, I do want to submit for your consideration. I will bring back, I don't know if I can have it ready for the January meeting, but I continue working on the Veterans Discussion television program concept. So at a future meeting, more likely, I would say the February meeting, I will bring back a more a complete plan to launch that television discussion program on veterans issues that is included in your work plan. And with that, I see a hand from Commissioner Regal.
Yes, Kelly, quick question. Has our new member been selected?
Commissioner Regal, members of the commission, unfortunately, the gentleman who the council nominated and was moving toward being voted onto the council withdrew at the last minute, and I haven't received any additional information on why the gentleman withdrew. And so at this point, we are back into the queue for the council to receive applications, make a nomination, and then ultimately a selection. So we are looking into the spring before all that would occur. I have been in discussions with the staff who oversee all of our boards and commissions, and I will be working on a more active recruiting program for all of the city's boards and commissions, and will certainly share that with all of you so that you can in turn share it with your networks so that we can get some more applications in for the city's boards and commissions, and certainly for people interested in serving on this commission.
Okay, the reason I brought it up is I mentioned at my both executive board meeting and our general membership meeting that my term expires next October, and if anybody was interested, and I had a couple of people come forward. One of them very vehemently said, "Hey, I'd love to go do this." And so I didn't know whether to turn him on, turn him off, or whatever. I thought I'd bring it up here. And so what you're telling me is nothing until the springtime, most likely.
Well, Commissioner Regal, members of the commission, anyone could go to the city's boards and commissions. If you went to the scottsdaleaz.gov and search boards and commissions, you should be able to find the application. It's an online form. Anybody could fill that out now and get their name into the queue. But the process will not really start moving forward until after the new council is seated. And I believe their first round of nominations would not be until February or March.
Okay. I just have a gent who's also a member of the Purple Hearts and stuff like that who's really wanted to jump on, but I'll tell him to go to the website and apply.
Thank you, Commissioner Regal. And if there's any difficulty, you could certainly connect him with me and I can point him to the correct page.
Very good. Thank you.
And with that, Chair Palmer, I see a hand from Commissioner Zymek.
Yeah. Do we not have the ability, either Chair Palmer or the city council, to appoint a temporary member pending a complete fulfillment by city council with the due timeline? It seemed to me back in my days on the airport commission, that was a possibility.
Commissioner Zymek, members of the commission, I don't believe so. That's not something that I have seen, although I haven't been directly supporting boards and commissions for a while. I can certainly find out if that is an option, given the fact that we are still looking at a few months before someone can be appointed.
That sounds like that. If you can, I think that would be a great deal, especially if Commissioner Regal's got somebody that is chomping at the bit to do something and join us.
Chair Palmer, Commissioner Zymek, members of the commission, I will research that and get back with you.
Well, it's nice we got somebody that's interested at least to do that. So yeah, if we can do that, that would be great. And then we'll let the rest of the bureaucracy work its way through.
And Chair Palmer, members of the commission, just for your information, I am also will be speaking on Friday with someone who I've become acquainted with via email, who works for the VA Medical Center in Phoenix, but lives in Scottsdale, who may also potentially be interested.
Right. And I think I'd open it up to the rest of the commissioners. If they have people that they know that you think would serve well on the commission, make sure that at least they get their names in so the city council can be aware of them. Are there any other questions or updates or comments from anyone? I've got one, but I'm just holding in case anybody else has one.
Chair Palmer, I do not see any other hands raised at present.
Okay. And what, Steve, based on what you were bringing up, I think we ought to be looking ahead next month to who else do we kind of were bringing in organizations to speak to the commission to have a better idea, and potentially we might want to do more of that, as well as your own organizations that you're working of. So we, get briefed up on the full organizations, and we also get them into the city notes. So I'd propose that all of us think about who we think we ought to bring into the commission to hear from. I know I've got some nonprofits that I'd like to have brought in and have a discussion, but I'd rather us get a whole list before we pick which one, and then we can all figure out what order we'd like to have them come in. Any thoughts?
Chair Palmer, there's a hand up from Commissioner Zymek.
Okay.
I think that's a great idea. The more visibility we can get out there, either just publicly or within our personal circles, the better off we'll be as an organization, and be better off to find the right people to serve on the commission. Good idea.
Thanks, Steve. And I'm thinking these groups, we also can sort of vet them on which ones we might want to get on to the TV show as well. So not only talk to us, but then we can get them advertising time on our the initiative that Kelly's putting together.
And Chair Palmer, members of the commission, I'm happy to start keeping a list of those. If anybody wants to send those to me now, or certainly you could have it as an agenda item for the January meeting.
An additional point, just to highlight, Kelly and I talked in our pre-meeting about, first of all, we've got to submit our annual report. I don't think we're going to have, Denise or I will have a requirement to brief in person. It's just going to go there. But it was recommended, actually the mayor called us last time, but when we get the new mayor on board, we'll go in and brief him in on the commission. It probably will be virtual. So if other members of the commission want to go there, Kelly, if appropriate, it wouldn't be bad for us to all hear the new mayor's goals for the commission, if he has any. Any thoughts on that?
Chair Palmer, I see a hand up from Commissioner Zymek.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, Chair Palmer. The other thing I might suggest, it seemed to work in my past life on the airport deal, and it worked because it let the commissioners get to know each other a little bit better. And we had social events, whereas after a meeting or once a month or once every couple months, we all got together socially, at the local, some local establishment, just to BS and just get to know each other and not talk about anything commission wise, because we know that would be verboten, but just have other people that might have an interest in the type of personnel we have together. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, I'll do it. I like that. A happy hour together anytime would be good, and I'm happy to do that. I kind of would wait till we all got vaccinations, but
Yeah.
Which I think most of us, maybe Denise won't, but most of us will be getting one. I think we're all in 1B category. So
Well,
I
Denise
guess,
might be required to, because of the clientele she keeps.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, I personally, I like that idea a lot. I'd do the socials, and maybe we can rotate around. Maybe we can even go to the American Legion for one, if you're willing to host this.
Chair Palmer, I have a hand up from Commissioner Regal, speaking of, and then from Vice Chair Polk.
Okay.
We'd be glad to host. We don't require vaccinations there. And trust me, a lot of the members won't be getting them.
Great, Mike. Thanks for hosting, but I'll feel better if I have one because this one's a bad one. I don't want to get it. But
the
once we get that,
99.97 survival? No.
yeah, well, I had my uncle die and he was a doc, so I'm not into that. But I like the idea of a social. That's a great idea.
And then we can invite the people that might be interested. Or if we're at the Legion, we'll see Commissioner Regal's guy anyway.
Yeah.
Chair Palmer, members of the commission, I don't see any other hands up. The last item to note is that the next meeting is scheduled for 5 o'clock Wednesday, January 6th, which is the first Wednesday of the month, as is our usual schedule. And that's a little quicker turnaround because, of course, we had to bump this meeting back a week due to the council meeting conflict.
And what time are we going to go? 5 o'clock still?
Chair Palmer, yes, 5 o'clock is we'll be sticking with that time, and certainly seems to work as best as it can for everybody who's on the commission.
Okay, and unless there's any other updates or suggestions, I will entertain a motion for the commission to adjourn.
Stand by.
Chair Palmer, I do see a hand from Commissioner Regal.
Quick question,
sorry.
Kelly, is there a council meeting also on the 6th and that could hit this again, or is that not the same time frame?
Commissioner Regal, members of the commission, no, there is not. The first council meeting of the new year will be on January 12.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Back to the Commissioner Palmer, so moved to adjourn.
All in favor?
I think you'll need a second there, Chair Palmer.
Oh, I thought I
Second.
heard two different.
Moved by Commissioner Regal, seconded by Commissioner Zymek.
Yes.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes. You all have a good night, and I'm going to go have a wine. So.